Hello there. In this video, we are going to test all the images on this page using the Axe DevTools. So as you can see, there are a bunch of images on this page. You have this image, which is basically informative, is giving more information about the content on the right. Of course, this is not an image, it's just a map, so we'll ignore that. Then these are the informative images. And the reason for that is because each hotel card has a photo of the hotel room that helps the user make a decision about where to stay. And the images convey important information about the look, about the style, and the quality of the accommodation, which actually influences the booking decision. So if these images were removed, then users would lose the valuable content. So it is not decorative, it's actually informative, right? And then here you have these icons, right? And if you inspect element, you'll see that these are actually bootstrap icons, right? So even though these are icons like bootstrap icons, these are rendered via the I tag with before pseudo element, but the same accessibility rule applies. So these will be your functional images. The reason for it is because you have this wrapped inside of the A tag, right? So these are acting as links. These are actually links that takes the user somewhere. So these are functional. This will be considered like a functional image, right? Even though these are icons, because they are wrapped inside of the A tag. The screen readers won't automatically know that this is a Twitter or a LinkedIn just from the class, right? So here is somewhere we need to, add that information. We'll come to that, how to fix the issue, but just to let you know that this will be treated as the functional image, even though it's an icon. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and test this. So I'm going to come over here and then I'm going to do a full page scan. So in fact, let's just do images instead of full page scan because we're just testing the image. So we're going to do the guided test, the self-guided test, which will involve the AI to take its own decisions. It'll try to scan the page and see what it considers to be an image and what type of image, and then it'll ask us a bunch of questions. And basis what we answer is it'll decide whether there's something that needs to be fixed. Okay, so let's click on the image, which is this particular box right here. So let's click that, and it's just going to run the scan only for images. You could just test one particular element also, but right now I'm testing everything. So make sure you have put the site into the state where you wish to test it. So I'll just keep it on top and then I'll hit start. So now it's capturing the screenshot of each image. As you can see, it's got like different groups of images. You have group 1, where is you can actually click on this to see where that is. So if I click on that, I can see this is the image. There are 3 images over here. So it's asking whether or not you would like to test this image. So yes, I would like to test. So I'm going to select all in the group 1. Then it's asking about this one. So I'm going to click over here. So this is the image. And then the next one is this image, which is basically a background image, right? And as we already know, the background image is actually decorative, right? So I'm going to click both of them because I want to test both the images. And then I will, yeah, I think that's about it. It did not really select all of the images that are solely as decoration. So this image is decoration. So I'm going to select that. No, not this one, right? Yeah, this is decorative. However, these 3 images are actually informative images. Even this one is informative image, this one. So I won't select those. The only thing it wants us to do is to select the images that are used solely as decoration, right? So the background image, as we know already, that are decorative images. So I'll click next. Select all of the images excluding logos that contain informative text. So let's see if it contains informative text. No, this one doesn't. None of these images contain informative text. So remember the rule that we learned in the previous video where we should not be using a text that has an embedded informative text. sorry, we shouldn't be using the image that has an embedded informative text. Okay, so I don't see there are any images that have informative text, so I'll just leave it as it is. I don't have to select anything. Then does the accessible text tell you what the image is for? So this is saying Metropolitan Hotel, so I think it's fine. Downtown Pizza Suit, business in Chicago, event venue. I mean, you can describe it better, but I'll leave it as it is, but you can describe it better. It's just saying event venue. It's not really describing more about this particular element. So maybe you can select no and then give it a more descriptive text, like you can say Grand Metropolitan Conference event venue, something like that, or something that can describe this place better. Okay, so I'll hit next. Now it's capturing all the screenshot, and the only thing it's highlighted as an issue is this one, where it's saying this image is not appropriate or meaningful, because it's just saying event venue. It's not really telling us more about this place, so that's why it is not considered as meaningful. And you can click on inspect to see where that is also, right? Event venue is very vague. Okay, and then I'll finish it. I can save my result saying images for the venue event. Save. There you go. My test has been saved. And as you can see here, this is the only issue it's found. Okay. Now you can just change the alt text to make it more descriptive, and that solves the problem. But there are more problems on the page. And as you can see, the problem is these guys, right? These guys. So here, what needs to happen is you need to have an ARIA label here. Okay, first of all, href is empty, so you need to fill that. And then you need to have an ARIA label that basically describe where this link is going to take the user to, because remember, it's a functional image, right? So you have to actually two options. Either you can add a text over here, like a span or something inside of the A tag right after this I, and just call it like follow us on Twitter. Inside you can place the text inside of that, like for example, let's edit this as HTML, and then inside this I can do a span, and I can say follow us on X. Okay, there you go. There. Okay, so that should do. That should really help. But this will only be for screen readers, so it should have an SR only class. And then of course you have to apply the style for SR only, so that it's not visible to the regular users, right? Then, or what you can do is you can just put an ARIA label over here, ARIA label. And then I'm just going to zoom it a little bit. And then over here, you can just say, follow us on Twitter, on X. Okay, there you go. That's what you can do. And then if you use the screen reader, it's actually going to announce that. So if I use
voiceover of local estate main venue event visited link visited link follow us on X Twitter. You are currently on voiceover off.
So as you could see that the screen reader announced that. I don't know if you could hear it, but there was a text on there that said that follow us on Twitter. So that's something we want to do for that. And let's take a look at this one. Is this a link? So yeah, this is not a link, so we can ignore this one. So it's fine, I think. Okay. And there's also not an image, so it's fine. Cool, sounds good. Perfect. So since these were not images, we can leave that as it is. But if they were images, then you'll do alt equals empty and role, or you can do role equals presentation. But since there is no image here, and it is not wrapped inside of an anchor tag, so it's not treating as a functional image, we can leave that as it is. All right, thank you very much.